This is a non-exhaustive guide to make art consistently again, especially after those long periods. Because a lot of times you see people being like, I've had a dry period, I haven't been making as much in a week. When I was about 25 years old and moved back home with my parents and finished my degree, then I went through a period where I didn't make art for probably 6 to 8 months. And I've still had periods with different jobs and things where I have been unable to make art consistently. I want to do art as a career. That's what my degree is. That's what I've always wanted to do. So it's deeply heartbreaking when the perfectionism and the self-critique just make you hate it so much that you can't do any of it anymore. So here's my video of a non-exhaustive guide, meaning this isn't everything, but this is what I can think of right now because I'm definitely making art a lot more consistently. But I feel like a lot of us love art, simply go through periods where we don't make anything at all for quite a while. So let's start with number 1, connect with nature in an accessible way. If you can't ignore the AC, I hope it doesn't screw up my audio too much. Okay, so number 1, I would say connect with nature. Connect with your inspirations. So go outside, put your feet against the dirt. If you live in a city, maybe just go to a park. A plant, I'm growing a little thing of basil here. And just look at that. Think about how you would draw it, how you would paint it. Connect with animals, go bird watching, look at pretty flower beds. That's a great way to kind of just get out of your head, especially when you're just in this mode of constantly scrolling on TikTok, scrolling on social media. Then it's hard to just stop and like give yourself time to make art. And it feels so exhausting because there's this big part of you that's like, why aren't I creating? Just stop worrying about why you aren't creating and connect with nature for a little bit. Connect with your, I would say number 1 is connect with nature and connect with your inspirations. So as well as that, since a lot of times artists, we're just creative people, start trying new things and developing new skills. Number 2, try new things and develop new skills. So there's a lot of things that I haven't worked on for a while or I haven't really developed, like singing, like playing an instrument, that lately I've been really interested in because these are things I've always been interested in, but I just never really went through. I have a whole notebook that's just full of poems that are meant to be songs that I've written, and it's just such a great way to connect with my creativity as long as I'm able to just push past that perfectionism and say to myself, hey, it's okay, just create something. And I don't have all that trauma from like visual arts when it comes to poetry personally and creation. I don't have those voices going through my head about these things because I mean there's a few things I always told myself I just have a choir voice, or with singing and music then it very much has to go with my religious trauma. So rediscovering that has been a really fantastic thing for me and it's been really exciting and I just enjoyed it so much. But also when I create the music, when I write poems and songs, then it also allows me to connect with my creativity in a way that allows me to create art a lot better. Okay, that's number 3, create in different mediums. I think I skipped forward. Create in different mediums, try new things, because with art, that creation is important. And maybe you'll find that you're really talented at something, maybe you're not good at it either, but like taking the time to really create that's going to help you creation. Number 4 is make creating easy. So a lot of times if you like do oil paint, if you do like a lot of physical media, there's like this big barrier of like, oh, I don't want to mess up my paper, I don't want to mess up my sketchbook. Make sure you have a sketchbook, even if it's like a lined paper sketchbook that you can just do different things with. And see, this is just like this is one I got from my mom and I just said I'm just gonna doodle whatever I want in it. So we have different sketches, we have some character designs, which I actually had a lot of fun making. Talking about cartoons, I have some solar punk sketches, another doodle, another drawing, and then here's my cat, but then these are the really cute ones of my cat. Oh, and these are the character designs that I really enjoyed. that I actually want to make of a comic character. It's so exciting to me, and just doodling and like not being too judgmental about the process, because I'm like, I have an art degree, is that all you can do? Like the amount of shame and self-deprecation that comes with that, where I just like, I'm like, why are you creating things if they're not beautiful and fantastic and perfect and wonderful and anatomically correct and perfectly correct in all ways? And like, honestly, I went to college halfway. Most of my art degree was during COVID. I went to like a religious college, and I rushed through my degree basically because I was so sick of it. I just did not want to be there anymore. So I always downgrade my degree and feel bad about myself and feel really ashamed about it, even though you'd think it would be a boon to this, but it's not. It's not at all. I went off on a tangent and forgot to talk about making art easy. So I try to keep my iPad charged when I actually remember to, so that I can do digital art, because that's something very easy for me. It doesn't make me messy. I don't get OCD about it. Well, I get OCD about the art, but like I don't get like any textures or like things that I need to clean. And I don't know if I like this list. Number 5, I'm going to say, is journaling. So I know it's so cliche, but like in the artist's way, I would say artist's way is very regimented and has like a certain thing, but you don't have to do everything so regimented. Lately, because I've just been in a little bit of a traumatizing part of my life, traumatizing events have happened, I have just made a journal where I can just write down all my thoughts. Like literally, this is just a journal. Like, it's a pretty journal, but I got it cheap. I got it cheap at grocery outlet, and I have like a few cheap gel pens where I can just write down all my thoughts and my feelings and complain about my constant migraines and my constant neck pain and complain about how I'm depressed. And it really helps me get a lot of that pent up energy out so that I can better create without like being so judgmental towards myself. Journaling is great. You really should do it for your mental health, but you should also do it so that you are like more healthy as a creator. Okay, number 6 is my favorite. Remember, you're creating something that AI, artificial intelligence, couldn't. And while you're at it, chug water aggressively despite the machine while you create. Just remember, and that's why I started with music and songwriting, because I'm like, I fucking am sick of like AI generated art. Like, part of the joy of being a human is creating art. And I let myself just scroll and scroll and scroll on TikTok rather than like spending my time being an art, rather than spend my time creating art and just like enjoying my life. And so, yeah, just getting past that creationism. Like, let me show you. This is not perfectly anatomically correct. Here's a piece I did in watercolor that was just very expressive and just like the feeling of creating art. I do very much love this. It's not perfect, but I very much like it. And then here's another. I had a weird dream about like a worm apocalypse, like with one of my friends from where I used to live. And basically we're outside of her dad's garage where he has an incinerator where we have to put the worms. I have a Ziploc bag full of worms. Like, would AI create something so fucked up? I don't know, maybe, but it could never do it in the same way that I could. So make your art, even if it's a little fucked up. Remember, AI could never do your shitty art, even if it feels shitty. AI got nothing on that because it's made by you and it has your soul in it. It has your energy, and that's beautiful. So like, you can do what AI can't. Drink your water and create art. You have to aggressively chug water though. This is part of it. We probably all are really dehydrated and ADHD and need hydrating, so this is self-help now. Oh, it helps the executive processing a lot. Number 7, I think this is the most important. You need to enjoy the process and abandon perfectionism. So just make things that are purely enjoyable to make. Like, stop focusing so much on the future result, because eventually you want to focus on the future result. You want to make beautiful things. You want to make nice things. But the good thing about making art is making it. It's not having it finished and looking at it. Well, some people enjoy that, but if you're an artist, the creation process is like the beautiful part. So I have this painting, and I just took some white paint and some purple paint because I have a hard time doing physical media and just painting. and I just threw it together. I took a palette knife, I took one brush, and I did this within like a few hours. I thought it was ugly. You could see like it's really textured. You can kind of turn it around and see different shapes that I might have tried to create and I might not have. And I just thought it was ugly and boring and I didn't really like it. And then I showed it to my little sister and she stared at it and she kept flipping it around and she's like, I really like it. And I was like, well, you can have it if you want it. And she was like, And I was like, well, if you don't like it, then you can't have it. And she's like, no, actually, I think I'll pay you for it eventually. We haven't gotten there yet because I said, if you decide you want it later, you can pay me for it and I'll give it to you. But I didn't see much value in it because I was just like, it's so stupid. I just did it for the creation part. But people will see that energy in your art, that joy of creation, and they will take that as like a reason to really love your art. So don't put yourself down and like, don't put your art down just because it's not perfect, because it's not the ideal. Because I was inspired by all those like square arts and like where they would just have like one color but like multiple things, and then like war veterans would just cry in front of them. I was like, that's interesting. I want to play with that idea, like not in a snobby way, but in like a that's so interesting way. And this is what I created recently to show the big emotions I was feeling, and I would say that's number 8. I don't have it on my list. Number 8 is creating things from your soul. Like when you're sad, when you're stressed, when you're emotional, create art. Like the best art, the best reception I've ever gotten from art, which I would say is like my bipolar comic page. That's going to be the stuff that connects with people. That's the soul that AI can't do for you. So I hope some of these tips help. I hope some of these ideas help you create art, because no one can create art like you. And I'm so excited to see what you and I can create together. If you like this video, consider giving me a like and a follow so that we can grow this channel and make a community full of people who want to encourage each other and artists who want to create. Put your tips down in the comments for other people and for me, and we might do a part 2. I'll go ahead and credit anyone who puts down in the comments if you have any tips that I don't know I already have in my arsenal, because I don't think I got through everything. This is more just I need to create something fast before I overthink it kind of thing, which is another mini tip. That you have a wonderful day and take some time to go step outside and put your feet on the earth and touch some grass in like the most lovely way possible, so you can really create.
It's over, but we still replay the night.